All right, all right.
Oh,
Yes.
look at us live on the I Needed That YouTube channel, Facebook alike. Hello, Chris Powell.
Good morning, my friend. How you doing?
Good. We'll wait for everybody to kind of jump in here and get going. But for those of you that have just signed up, I want to apologize up front. I'm having kind of a bad hair life here. I don't
Never, my friend.
I don't know what's happening.
It looks good. I like it all spiky like that.
My kids have given me crap. They've been like, "Dad, you know, you're losing your hair." And I was like, "Listen, I'm not losing my hair, but it's like I've had this hairline for as long as I can remember.
As long as I've known you, you've had the same hairline.
Yeah.
And we're talking 14, 15 years.
Yes,
right?
that's right. Yeah. And I refer to it, I don't have a forehead, I have a 5 head, right? So that's how I refer to it. But, you know, my dad, he was real thin. My grandparents, they were real thin. So I do kind of wonder, like, what'll happen if it gets much.
I was going to ask, what do? Do you just shave it all? Or do you kind of try to salvage it and start combing it over?
No, I won't do a comb over.
Okay, good. That was a test.
Would you?
No, you shave it.
You
shave
hair,
it.
You have the best hair on planet Earth.
I don't know about that. I got a pretty high forehead, but you know, it's crazy. I go back and I'm trying to see like a pattern to see if it's starting to like regress a little bit. And I still had a really high forehead as a kid too. And so like, I don't know. I don't look
as you as somebody who's got a high forehead.
Really? Well,
yeah.
It's because I go like that all the time because you see all the wrinkles when I do this.
Yeah.
Oh man. And so no, you don't have that many wrinkles at all.
No,
I'm 5 years younger than you, and I've got like canyons in my forehead. But it's lots of expression.
Is that because you're stressed out more?
Yes, totally. You know, it's funny. Look at pictures.
AKS.
If you look at pictures of me between today and go back 5 years, holy smokes, man.
Okay.
I have lived some life.
Have you?
Over the last 5 years.
You can tell?
Oh my gosh. Yes. It's unbelievable.
In what ways?
I've just aged a lot from wrinkles to gray to everything. But
interesting.
Yeah, it is what it is.
How do you feel about it?
Fortunately, my body feels pretty good. I don't, people say this all the time, but I'm going to say it and I really mean it. I still feel young. I still feel like I'm in my late 20s, early 30s. I do. Yes. I don't feel old. And so like, I don't know.
Everybody watching us right now, here's your question. Do you feel your age? Thumbs up if you do feel your age. Thumbs down if you feel younger or older. Okay. So if you feel your age, you're a thumb up. If you don't, thumbs down. I'm just curious where everybody lands on this whole thing. Good morning to you, Joanne. Thank you so much. Good morning. Yeah, today's podcast, I'm with Joanne. I love the topics we present. And today's podcast is freaking awesome. If you guys haven't had a chance to go and jump on it yet, it's a total deep dive onto the promises that the both of us are going to make for ourselves. And then we discuss the top 4 things that the top 4 reasons people usually fail. Look at all this. So a lot of people with us, man.
Right?
A lot of people do not feel or act their age.
We identify as 20-year-olds.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's important for you. Respect us as 20-year-olds.
There it is. I'm actually 28. But I have the wisdom of a 50-year-old.
Exactly. And the life experience.
I think so. Do you know what this means?
Thank you, guys. Right? It's what means
boof?
I don't know what buffet means.
Buffet?
I'm just gonna guess that Nicholas is on our side and that buffet means yes, I also identify as a 20-year-old.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's interesting because I wonder if other people, I wonder if you guys watching agree here, but I remember when I was growing up, and I remember very distinctly both my parents turning 40.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like over the hill parties, old fart, buttons and decorations. And I remember thinking like, holy smokes, like when you hit 40, bro.
I know, right?
You're old. And I remember when I turned 40 and I felt like a kid still.
Yeah.
I remember when I just turned 50 this past October, and I still feel younger, although I will say I do feel like I'm coming into my age a little bit more.
Sure. Anyway, what does that mean though?
Just settled down because I think when you're younger, there's this thing inside of you where you're still kind of trying to impress people, and you're still trying to you're still wearing a costume from time to time. And that's the benefit of getting older is you eventually go like, I don't want to wear this costume ever again. It's stupid. I don't know why I put it on the first place.
Yeah. You kind of figure out who you are.
That's it.
A lot more. But I think the journey of discovery is never done. I'm still trying to figure it out. And I ask myself that all the time, just in having a vulnerable moment here. But yeah, I was just climbing up the hill the other day, and I was literally asking myself, like, who am I? And I'm still trying to find that out.
Yeah.
I don't try to impress people as much, but I'm still trying to figure out who I am, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just want to share with you guys.
I think there's a lot of discovery, because how old are you exactly?
45.
Yeah. And I remember being about 45, and kind of that started to creep in. And that was when I was at 45, I was entering kind of the height of my depression, and that whole like, who am I moment kind of a thing. And so I really relate to being that age and starting to really knock hard on that door and go, who are you, bro?
Right.
What are you about?
Yeah.
Like, you've been doing one thing for a long time, but like, who are you?
Yeah, exactly.
What are you trying to be? It's good.
Isn't it something that it takes us 40 plus years to like start to go there?
It sucks, man. I literally I had a presentation last night at this. I work at this place called Foster, Arizona. It's a foster care home for transition. So like,
that's awesome.
When people age out of the foster care system, they can go and they can live in this place for like up to a year, up to 2 years or something like that. And they have all kinds of incredible programs to help these kids get back on their feet. And I literally said to these young kids who were in front of me, because they were all like 18, 19, 20, 21. I said, I wished somebody would have come to me at 19 or 20 and said all of the things that I'm saying to you.
Yes.
Because I can't even imagine how my 20s would have been completely different with a little different understanding of what it's all about.
For sure. So, look, Adam says, oh, what's up, Adam?
You know Adam?
I know Adam. He's such a great dude, man. He's a rock star. I feel younger, but also more aware of what not to do, which makes me feel
there it is. True.
You definitely gain some social awareness, a little bit more social awareness.
Yeah,
over time.
You find your boundaries.
You know what's interesting, actually? It's like I found in my 20s is when I was extremely socially aware, and in my 30s, and the older I get, also the less connection I get with people. So the more I withdraw, the less socially aware I am. So then that's when I go to places and I say dumb things, and my kids are like, "Oh, Dad, why'd you do that? Why'd you say that?"
What do your kids razz you for being old?
No, but they definitely razz me for like just typical dad stuff. You know, like you step in an elevator and like, "So where are you folks from? I see you got a suitcase. You know, how was the flight?" And they're like, "Dad, don't say anything. Don't say anything." Or we go to the park. It's so funny. We go to the park and we're walking around the park all the time playing Pokemon. And everyone else is holding a phone. I'm like, I know they're playing Pokemon too. So every time we pass someone, I'm like, "Did you get a shiny?" You know, which is a shiny Pokemon. And every time when someone's starting to walk up, Cash is like, he starts grabbing my elbow. He's like, don't do it. Don't do it. And I was like, "Yeah, but watch." And the moment I say, "Did you get a shiny?" They're like, "No, but check it out. I got a, Mewtwo." And I was like, "Whoa." And then before you know it, we just made a friend.
There it is.
I know.
It's so great. I was in my locker room Friday or Saturday night. I guess we had a hockey game, and the kid said something. I don't even remember what the phrase was, but they were like, "Oh, we're gonna be da 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 da." And I was like, "Could you help me understand what da 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 means?"
Right.
And they just laughed and they said, "Don't worry about it, coach."
Yeah, you got to get up on the lingo, because your boys they're in the thick of it. So if they could teach you well,
they could teach me well. Although most teenagers are not interested in teaching their parents anything.
Right. Yeah, this is true. I'm curious for everyone listening right now, watching. When did you start? Okay, so for those of you, Bill says I'm also 45, but I feel like I'm 65 and Bill,
they're right there.
Okay, I'm with you there, Bill. But when did you start to feel like the aches and pains? I know exactly which age I was. 33.
Really?
Yeah, when things started to go, it was like, oh man, there's, my wrist started to hurt, and then I had bursitis in a hip, and I started pulling muscles. 33 years old. How about you?
Wow. Okay. Give me a second.
How about you guys?
Think about that.
What age did just things start to hurt?
Okay, this is a good question.
Yeah.
How old was I'm trying to go back to like when back pain started, like when I started to feel the back pain.
Yeah, my back pain happened before that. My back pain happened at 27, I think. 27. Yeah, but so because mentally, I feel young. I know so many of you guys do as well. Physically, slightly different. I mean, I once I'm warm, I'm good. But holy smokes.
Okay. All right. So when did I start to feel old? Probably 2008.
Yeah.
So help me do the math.
Okay.
I was born in 73. So 83, 93, 2003. So 35.
Okay. Yeah,
so right in that
Yep,
range.
Yep. I'm telling you, between 30 and 35 is for most people.
There's Bill. Bill was diagnosed with diabetes at 35. So there you go.
Yeah.
37, 47 now with lupus, arthritis, and Lyme diagnosis. It's tough.
Yeah.
Look at this. I love it. The check engine light. Come on. That's it.
It's so true.
Oh my God. Speaking of, I have the most embarrassing story.
Oh, let's hear it. Okay.
I'm so embarrassed.
Oh no.
I'm
Does this have to do with your car?
Embarrassed. Yes.
Okay, let's go.
So the other day I was driving home. I pulled into my neighborhood and the oil light came on. And it was suspect because I just had the oil change like a month ago.
Right.
And I was like, why would the check, like, why do I have to look at the oil? So anyways, I got home and I did what almost any man I think would do who has some sort of car knowledge. I popped the hood. I take the dipstick out. I take out the paper towels. I wipe it off. I put it back in. I bring it out. And I'm like, oh, it's low. I need to put some oil in here. So I was like, okay. I set the dipstick down on my desk outside. And I got in my car to try to start it and go get some oil. No. And the car was like shaking, convulsing. It was like literally my car was having a seizure. And I called my auto mechanic, who I love in Chandler, TGK. Shout out to those guys. Just super awesome, honest. I promise I'm not getting a kickback at all. They're just good people.
Feeling they saved you.
No, they didn't need to because I'm an idiot. So I call him and I'm like, it's not working. The car's shaking. It's convulsing. Something's totally wrong here. The guys are like, all right, sounds like we need to tow it. I was like, yeah, we definitely need to tow the car. And so we set up a tow. The next morning, they were going to come and do the thing. And my son, who's 17, my oldest, he's very mechanically inclined. He comes home from school and he walks into the garage and then he comes into the house and he goes, Dad, why is your dipstick laying on top of the desk in the garage?
You just went and you went face palm.
Face palm. And I was like, oh my God, Gordy, I forgot to put it back in. And he goes, that's why your car was doing the stuttering and all of the things. And so I had to call the auto mechanic back at 5 o'clock. And I was like, Cody, hi, I'm so embarrassed. Cancel the tow. Cancel the appointment. I don't need anything. I'm fine. I'm just an idiot who forgot to put his dipstick back in to the hole. Such an embarrassing story.
Yeah, but that will only happen once.
That's exactly
never
right.
Again. Lesson learned.
Everybody watching, it will never happen to you. That's the benefit.
This is very true.
Carrie says I'm 38. I don't feel old. Good for you.
There you go.
Hey, Chris. Carrie's in Belvedere, Illinois.
What's up, Carrie?
So we titled this this sucker Back Pain because today's guest is somebody who just, man, he's got a remarkable story.
Yeah, Vinny Crispino is his name, and a former Olympian who ended up severely injuring himself and couldn't walk. And so the whole episode today is all centered around his road to recovery. He actually was able to walk again, it's amazing. And we want to dive into that. But both you and I, coming from a history of back pain, we really, I mean, both of our ears, when we heard this story, they perked up because we're like, okay, hold on. I think this is going to resonate with a lot of people. Okay. And so along those same lines, one more question for you. How many of you experience back pain? Because when did you first bust your back? I busted mine when I was 27.
I have one story that I vividly remember when I'm about 32. Where my back went out at my in-laws' house over Christmas, and I literally couldn't get off the floor. I was laying on the floor while everybody was like eating dinner, and I couldn't move. Yep. And waiting for the muscle relaxers to kick in.
And for anyone who's been there, it is the most debilitating feeling, and it's helpless. It's helpless, and the moment you go to move,
congrats on the app.
Thank you so much, Andy. Thank you, my friend.
So I'm hoping you got it. All right. So Don says no back pain so far, and I hope it stays that way. Me too.
Keep it that way, Don.
Anybody else for those of you watching? Thumbs up if you've ever experienced any kind of back pain. Steph, miss your show so much. Love to hear your update.
Yes.
Awesome. This is it. This is the update right
here.
We're
working on this one right now. We got a lot going on.
35 when my back went out and you were stuck on the ground. Adam, okay.
Boy, man, I feel you.
Happy New Year to you too, more.
Okay. So do you know what it was that threw it out? Was it like an acute injury? or was it just you went to reach down and pick something up and your back went out?
That
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It just, and listen, I'm going to go deep on everybody because I don't know how to do anything else. But what I have come to learn about back pain is that so much of it is tied to emotion and trauma.
We were just looking at a website about that.
And I don't want to like make this all about trauma and emotions and stuff, but you have to consider the fact that so here's what I always tell everybody. If you have back pain, go to the doctor, get an MRI, get a scan. And if there's nothing physically wrong with your back, then you have to look at and accept the fact that maybe it is tied to emotion and trauma because we store so much of it down here in our pelvis.
Sure.
So I remember being like, well, I'm trying to think at 33, man, there was a lot of stress in my life. I had just gotten married. We had just moved to Washington, D.C. I had started a brand new job. There was a lot going on, man. And that's when some of it started to flare up. And people always ask me like, how do you know if it's like real or it's not? I was like, because it comes and goes.
Yeah.
If you have a broken leg, your broken leg hurts until the cast fixes it and puts it back together.
Right.
If you got back pain that comes and goes, you should consider the fact that it's tied to some sort of emotional reason and look into that. That's
yeah, but when you got an MRI, was there a bulging disc or herniated disc, anything like that?
Not until much later in my life.
Oh, and was that due to an injury or was that just chronic? Maybe it's just a
chronic.
Yeah,
chronic pain, stress. I think about it like everything was so tight and stressed for so long, and so that can create an injury. I think that can create an injury.
1000% it can.
Right?
Yes, absolutely.
And I still find myself, I don't know if you have to do this, I still find myself where I like have to breathe through it sometimes. I'll still notice that like I'm clenching my butt cheeks or my pelvis is tight or my core is tight. I'm like, relax, pal. You're okay.
Dude, I'm clenching right now.
Are you?
Yes, I'm clenching all the I always have to find a perfect pelvis position so that my back isn't pinching.
How interesting.
Yeah. So, and then I also like I've actually been really good. And we talked about this as far as making promises about my stretching, my stretching promise that I started weeks ago, but I've carried it through. And so it's always much better. I wake up in the morning, I stretch it out. See, for me, it was an acute injury. I injured it in the gym, went and got an MRI, herniated disc, bulging disc. Still didn't do a whole, that's also what led me into my whole downward spiral with painkillers, and so that was a whole journey unto itself.
How it was for me too. That's when I started getting hooked on opioids.
Yeah, dude. I mean, man, that's a slippery slope.
All right, so here we go. We got a lot of feedback here. Let's go through it all. Boom, boom, boom. Cassie says I had a nerve block on my tailbone. That sounds like it sucks.
Yeah. Well, the nerve block is nice. When it wears off, it's not.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
But boy, when you got that nerve block, you're like, you got to be careful because the thing is the injury is still there. You just can't feel it. And it's wonderful because it's that nerve that's just that shooting pain. So
we were just talking about before we went on that little apparatus. I don't know if you guys see this when you're on Instagram or whatever, but there's that like little thing that people are lying on, and it's got that hook, that little thing, and you're supposed to lie on it, and it releases your iliacus muscle, which is the muscle that connects your hips to your femur, I think. Is that what we found?
To the femur.
Because we had to look it up to see what the muscle was because I couldn't come up with iliacus.
I couldn't remember it either.
I know.
And I'm almost embarrassed because I'm like, wait, what muscle are you looking up? I had to go back to the old anatomy charts. I was like, oh, yeah.
Bill's got a bulging disc in
Bro.
his neck. That sucks. That sucks. Elizabeth fell off her bike, hitting a patch of soft sand on a trail 10 to 12 years ago, and it's never been the same. Ouch.
That's the way back injuries work, man. It's just, it's hard.
Well, I'm guessing that our guest today is going to have some really incredible ideas about how we can rehab. And I have a feeling that Vinny's going to talk about how we need to build our core strength.
I'm sure. But
nobody wants to hear, Vinny.
Hey, it's going to be a ton of good information, especially for anyone out there who's suffering with back pain. I'm going to be a student over the next hour as we're chatting with Vinny through this. Yeah.
Chris says, do shots work? And I would say they do temporarily.
They do. That's the answer. They do temporarily.
And what I would advise is if you're going to get, and my father-in-law just went through this and he had to get a shot for some back pain. And I was like, listen, while you feel good, now I want you to move, stretch, and build your core strength. Yeah. Because when the shot wears off, that's going to help you out tremendously.
Absolutely. Yep.
Here we go, Stacy.
Yes, right.
The nor'easter.
Boy, no kidding, boy. You guys got slammed.
Oh my goodness.
That's crazy. Yeah, there's a handful of things you could do. I mean, I've even looked into cauterizing the nerve, where they go in there, they burn the nerve. But here's the thing, it grows back. And after about 6 months or so. So you can get shots, you can cauterize a nerve, you can get surgery, which you did. I mean, guys, there's a lot. We've explored a lot of different solutions out there, and then for me, it's like, man, right now it's just stretching.
It's such a big deal. And honestly, there is, if you guys, anybody that's experiencing back pain, you can actually go to YouTube and you can look for like chronic pain meditations.
Right.
And one of the things that I learned about back pain was, so here, consider this for a second. Consider the thought that the pain has been sent to you as a signal to do something about it. So consider that that's the alarm. The alarm, the pain is the alarm that, that something is wrong. And now it's the signal for you to sort of treat it, work on it, do something. But one of these meditations I came through actually advised me to really breathe through the pain, to try to really relax my breath through it. And I was able to get myself to a spot where I could actually breathe through the pain. I could settle it down a little bit and it would go away.
Oh, yeah, I 1,000% believe in that. Like the research that I've done on just even managing my own pain, there's a lot to be said of breath work.
Yeah.
And breath work in pain management. Guys, it's wild how powerful breathing is. It's not going to make the pain go away. It's going to simply help you focus on your breathing so that the pain can be manageable. Now, granted, there are multiple levels of pain. I get it. If you're at a 10 out of 10 and you're laid out on the floor and you can barely even breathe, look, you can only do so much.
That's it.
But if you're at a 4 or a 5 and you can actually really start to focus on your breathing, it can help you manage the pain. It's not going to go away.
There you go, Holly. Good job. Pain doesn't go away completely, but
yes,
it's really helpful. And it is.
Oh man, isn't it something? Breathing and meditation. Again, rewind the clock 20 years and it's breathing and meditation. And now everyone's like, even people on the cutting edge of science are like, no, breathing and meditation. It's really powerful stuff. It's the whole mind body connection is so incredible.
And it's powerful.
Yes, it is. In fact, like breathing is like triage. It's like the instant triage for stress, for pain, for whatever it is, even with the kids. Yeah. It's the funniest thing. I've taught them whenever they jump into a cold shower or a cold plunge, or if they cut themselves, what's the first thing that they do? I taught them how to box breathe. And sure enough, they go from to, and it's the coolest thing in the world. So like, guys, like not only should we be going through this, teach your kids. It's the coolest thing, because when you teach them how to breathe and then they fall and they skin their knee and you turn around and watch the kid go, it's like, wow, that's cool. Like, what a great tool to teach.
You know anything about what Adam's saying? I want to ask Vinny about this. Stretching to manage the bulge. Also, hydration seems to have helped by hydrating my discs. I allow them not to bulge as bad. That's a very interesting thing.
True story, Adam. I'm really glad that you brought that up. Dehydration can actually compress your discs.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Really?
Yes. Oh my gosh, Adam, I'm so glad you brought that up. Being well hydrated it's one of the many techniques that you can do to help manage back pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant, dude.
This Holly says, I use breathing now more than with my chronic pain, more than my labor with the girls. That's
Yes.
Awesome. Yoga's been incredibly. This is another thing, right? Like, and you hear yoga, and you all need to understand, if you don't know much, that there's different types of yoga, and there's a yin yoga.
Yeah.
And what's the other one?
There's hold on. I want to say Shavasana. It's not Shavasana. But Shavasana is my favorite movement at the very end. Where you're like,
I just lay there.
Yes, exactly. It's
I think it's yin, where it's a stretching yoga, and you hold positions for like 2 minutes.
And the whole thing is the vinyasa, right? And then, but yin is the long stretching one.
Okay.
But then they've also got like core yoga, power yoga, which are like, they're not true traditional yoga. They're like kind of sensationalized, different things that people can do, but they're amazing. Some of them, they flow faster, so you get your heart rate up. But
look at Colleen. She says hydration helped with my post concussions and whiplash. This is so crazy. Like, we go out and we spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to heal our back pain. Can you imagine if most of us just needed a glass of water?
Right.
How irritating is that?
Seriously, isn't that something?
My back surgery was $180,000.
Whoa, hold on. What was it?
The $180,000.
Holy, and your spine is fused down there.
I don't have a
right?
fusion. No, they just had to
Oh.
go in and I had this herniated disc that had broken off into 2 pieces and started moving up my spinal canal. And so it was a little bit of an intricate surgery and they had to use some things. But like, can you imagine if all I needed to do is go to Costco and get a 16 pack of water
right.
for $12.99?
Yes. Go figure.
Water. Your friend.
And now here's the thing. You'll never regret being well hydrated for all the right reasons. It will only help you. It will benefit you and your health on so many levels. But
we got a shout out to Adrian here. Did his first jog with his son for 5 years at 280 pounds today. Way to go, Adrian. That's incredible.
Yes, dude. Yes.
That's awesome.
Hell yes, man. That's freaking awesome. Good job. How cool is that?
Yeah.
That you're out jogging with your 5-year-old. It's not, here's the thing. It's not about losing the weight. It's about creating more opportunity and making memories like this.
Yeah.
And boy, what a gift that you're giving your son.
Sure.
You know, like
gets to go run with his dad.
Oh my gosh, dude. And you're teaching him that, hey, this is what we do. This is part of your life. Like you're giving him the gift of the culture of fitness in your family. It's amazing.
Nothing
it's
better.
So cool. Yes.
All right. Well, listen, friends, we are getting ready to go and record with Vinny right now. And that podcast will be out next Monday. Today's episode is out, obviously, right now. And it's all about keeping your New Year's promises. We talk about the 4 biggest mistakes that people make and how, more importantly, how to overcome them. And then you'll also get some personal anecdotes about the things that you're trying to do in 2024, the things I'm trying to do in 2024. And then Adam's right on the money. We talk a lot about kept promises.
Go. That's it. That's the way, right? I feel like the Mandalorian. This is the way.
This is the way.
Kept promises.
By the way, well, we got about 2 minutes here to wrap up. Let's talk about the new Kept app. And by the way, for everybody watching us right now, there's a 7-day free trial for you, for our podcast audience. All you need to do is go to
KeptPromises.com.
Like he says, KeptPromises.com and get your journey started. What I love about the app so much is that you can start where you're comfortable. Well, the app meets you where you are, to use that expression, right?
Yeah. You start wherever you're ready. You can start with breathing. You can start with
water.
Or water. In fact, we just did a big water challenge last week. So we're running a big challenge in our community right now. It's our Facebook community. We did hydration all last week. We're doing breathing this week. So how perfect is this?
Pretty good.
And then this is going to go on for 8 weeks total. So we'll move from breathing into gratitude, acts of kindness, steps. We're going to do nutrition, training. I mean, so it's all these pillars of wellness. And you activate them all right there on the app. It's like 10 apps in one. But we're having a blast with it. And
Cassie's loving the app.
Oh man, Cassie, I'm so glad to hear that. And the excitement and the energy in the community is off the chart. And you know, it's the best part about it also. It's not like, oh, the challenge started last week, so now I can't join. No, it's refreshing every week. And so every week we're taking on a new promise. We're just practicing it. And along the way, everyone's figuring out which ones work for them and which ones don't. So it's kind of create your own adventure, you know? And so you take what works and you leave what doesn't. You can adjust your promises. And the whole thing is about keeping those promises and keeping that streak alive. But every Monday it's starting fresh. So anyone can jump in and join us.
Cassie's in it. She said the group is killing it.
Right? Isn't it so much fun? It's so cool. And Adam's in there as well. Like I see a handful of friendly faces here, which is super cool. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Oh, it's so awesome.
If you all need help jumpstarting your anything when it comes to just being the best version of you, the Kept app is truly one of the greatest allies that you could put into your life. And as I keep telling Chris, you should charge 3 times the amount that you're charging for this app because it is so robust. But just know that y'all can get into this thing and get going for literally less than the price of a gym membership in a month.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's a lot. And that's part of our promise is that we're constantly seeking to find these solutions. There's 7 tenets that we live by. It's got to be fast, easy, fun, convenient, affordable, delicious, and 100% customized to you and your lifestyle.
Okay.
So that's what we live by.
Here's some of what the app looks like in case anybody wants to check it out. There's the man with the best pecs in all the land. Yeah, right. You look young there, dude. Was that some photoshopping or was that just a 10-year-old picture? What happened there?
That was last year. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
You know what it is? I shaved, and so there's no white in my beard.
That's what it is.
Secret. Yeah.
Oh, you're right. That's totally what it is.
Once the white starts coming through, I look a lot older.
Look at you looking like a chef.
I know. Yeah, and by the way, you see how I'm holding those carrots with my fingers there?
Yeah.
It's like the careful, I forgot.
You got to bend them back.
Yeah, you got to bend them back so you don't chop your fingers
There
off.
it is.
I know. I actually look at it like I know what I'm doing there.
Though I don't know if this has ever happened to you. I remember when I was in my 20s and I was cleaning a knife, like I was washing the knife.
Yeah.
And have you ever done this?
Yeah.
Where you go,
and
then I sliced all 3 of my fingertips open.
Nope.
And I've never done it again.
Yet.
Now when I clean a knife, I lay it down in the sink.
Oh,
and I scrub it so I can't hurt myself.
I've got a wand. Thank goodness I've got a little wand that I use to clean my knives. Yes.
Fancy ass. 10 apps in one. The Kept app is available. And for everybody watching us right now, a 7-day trial is absolutely waiting for you. Please go and take advantage of the 7-day trial. We know you're going to fall in love with this app. And most importantly, it's going to help you keep all those promises that you've been wanting to keep to yourself anyways. You just needed a little help and a little accountability.
Yes. Thank you, my friend. And join us in the community. It's free. There's a party going in there. It's going off all the time. Like it's really cool. So
yeah. But the community is you don't have to do the community, do you?
No. Okay. No, you don't have to. And some people are all about it. Some people aren't. They just kind of want to sit back and watch and kind of go through their own journey. But if you want to jump in there and
that's how I would be.
If you want to jump in and connect with a lot of people who are going through it with you, and you're going to make so many friends, it's the most incredibly supportive community ever. I'm not just saying that. When you go in there and you see it, every single person that puts a post, everyone's like, great job. That's so awesome. Keep up the good work. It's so beautiful.
Rosella Roz says, what's the app? Hi, Roz.
Yeah, you could search it on the Apple Store or on the Google Play Store and just search Kept with Chris Powell. And the moment you type in Kept with Kept W-I, it'll pop up. So you'll see it.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to check it out.
I've got a wand for my knives. Adam loves that. Yeah.
Dude, hold on, Adrian. Wait a second. No, I bought one of those wands and I got 16 of the little attachments on it on Amazon for like $9.
What are you talking? Go get it. What are you talking about?
Hold on, I'm going to show you.
What are you talking about?
Like a magic wand. Just a second.
Hold on a second. He's going to go grab his magic wand. Colleen loves the community. Cassie, you of course love the community. Dawn, she's having a good time watching us this morning. Oh, the wand.
This is what we call a wand right here. This is my wand.
I didn't know that's what that thing was called.
Yes, I just call it a wand. Anyway,
does anybody else call that a wand? I call that a spudge. It's like a sponge holder to me. Oh my God, I love that. It was fantastic. Yeah, all right, guys, listen. We'll let you go and enjoy your day, man.
Thank you, brother.
We're going to go record with Vinny right now and have a great discussion about back pain that will be out next Monday. So go and just jump into today's podcast about keeping promises. It's really good. I tell everybody I have this habit when I drive to Chris's house on a Monday morning, I listen to the podcast that just came out to make sure that it doesn't suck. And today's doesn't suck at all. It's really good.
Good to know. Very good to know.
I might be biased a little bit, but yeah, no, actually, I'm brutally honest. I'm the worst critic on our podcast.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. Yeah.
I'll be like, dude, that was awful. We should never do that again.
Right.
I love it. Andrea, good to see you. Have a super day, Colleen.
Love you guys.
All right, guys. Have an amazing one. Thank you for your time and attention today.
See ya.